Hello, everybody. Meg Czapiewski here with Honorable Service Realty Group, here with your March market report. That means February numbers. So we'll also give you a little insight on what we've been experiencing in March, and we'll be able to get those numbers to you a little quicker next month. Sharing my screen, and we're going to start in Fairfax County with the new pendings. And this is no real surprise, quite honestly. Every time we get past the holidays, we start seeing buyers come out of the woodwork. They're genuinely interested now and not just browsing and not just seeing what the market's going to do, but coming in and putting contracts in place. So increase this year over year increase for February was a 9% increase. We'll see bigger numbers in the other two counties. And then year to date, so the growth or the number of contracts between January 1st and February 28th is about a 10% increase over what we saw in 2025. Going to our supply and demand. We had a lot of discussions last year in our market updates about the difference between days on market and supply and demand. Supply and demand is measuring the amount of listings in the inventory compared to the amount of buyers that are in the market and the pace at which they are going under contract. The difference here is that the activity got strong shortly after the holidays and a huge drop off in days on market from probably 26, 27 in January down to about a week in February. So that fresh meat that came on that was well positioned for the market was going off like that. People are struggling. Literally, we are struggling to even get from coming soon to on market because people are just willing to put down an offer, even sight unseen, because 9 times out of 10, there are opportunities to get out of that because of our HOA rules, our review of the HOA docs, right? So it's a risk that these buyers are willing to take because they've been waiting. They've been waiting for the interest rates, for the economy, for the better inventory, and now they are just done waiting. Supply, on the other hand, is already starting to tick up. It is not that every single one of these homes that went under contract was like a 1-for-1 for homes that came on the market. There are homes that are coming on the market that aren't selling in 7 days, but they may be selling in 14. It's just this is the median. So no time to panic just yet. But you saw that over the large portion of the year in 2025, we were sitting just under 2 months of inventory in Fairfax County. All right, let's take a look at the median sales price because we're not really seeing substantial growth in this county for 1 year's worth of tracking sales prices. In the single family homes, it is 956,000 and some change. That is pretty much the same as what we saw in February. I think it was a 0.01 increase. And then in townhomes, we're actually seeing a drop year over year in terms of their median sales price. 625 is the median sales price right now. I put condos up here. It's not the primary factor in the market in Fairfax County, but their condo median price is 375,000, and it was literally zero change between February of 26 and February of 25. Going on to Prince William County, again, new pendings. We started to see the tick up after the holidays. It's what we expect. In this case, in Prince William County, it's a 22% increase year over year, as well as a 22% year to date. The year to date in Fairfax, I forgot to mention it, but that was like a little over 10%. So from January 1st of 2025 to 28 Feb of 2025, compared to those same 2 months in 2026, that's a 10% increase in buyer volume for that time frame. So positive, right? That's a good news story for us. In Prince William County supply and demand, what we see is a ever so slight tick up in inventory between December and February, but again, a drastic drop off in days on market. So just over 2 weeks to get something under contract in Prince William County. I would say that we experienced a bit of a weather phenomenon in February with quite a few snow days and some heavy duty ice helmet going on. And so that probably did impact the accumulating inventory and sort of the stale inventory, if you will. That's a terrible word. I shouldn't have chosen it. But the inventory that didn't go under contract that might have if there had been more navigable days in the market of February. Taking a look at median sales price, this is a pretty good story. Single family homes, we did see an uptick year over year. That represents a 4.3% increase. Nobody would complain about getting a 4.3% increase in their home value year over year, so that's good news. Same thing for townhome, 4.5%, with the median sales price of single family at 720 and townhomes at 507. Condos are really a small factor in Prince William County. Their median sales price is 410, which is like 35,000 more than a condo in Fairfax, which is interesting. But they did see a year-over-year drop of 2.4%. Again, a super small factor in Prince William County residential market. Moving to Stafford, they did not see as much of an uptick. They did in January, so I won't, give them credit. But in February, it actually slid down a little bit. Again, this could have been the weather. Hard to know. We'll just keep track of it. But even so, in February, this number reflected a 22% year-over-year increase. So it's still a positive thing. It's just that the month-over-month trend is a little off skew, if you will. And then the Stafford supply and demand, we're seeing the inventory accumulating a little bit between January and February. We'll just watch it. But the days on market trend is trending down. It did not see that drastic drop off that we were seeing. So they're still right at about a month. Remember, the activity levels were lower in Stafford. So if the activity level is slower, then of course the days on market are likely to be slower as well. All right. And then interestingly, condos in Stafford were the only ones that saw a positive median value increase and are also hanging above the price point of condos in Fairfax County. Your single family homes, I saw a 4.7% increase. I know that looks like that wouldn't be the case, but remember, we're comparing year over year. So February prices of 26 versus February prices not on this chart of 2025. So 4.7% increase there and a 4.3% increase in your townhomes. Good news story. Everybody wants to see the value of their homes go up. So last slide, let's do a quick takeaway. It's typical. We're seeing that spring market is hitting early, and it may have some weather-induced slowing overall, but it is behaving like a strong seller's market. There's multiple offers. There's listings selling above their list price, and I don't know those numbers yet because we need to see more closings before we will see, but I can tell you from the Prince William County listings that we are aware of, that's somewhere between 10 and 20K over, in some cases a little bit more. But that and not asking for closing costs, not other than what we do see for buyer agent compensation, but they're not coming in asking for a contribution for buyer's closing costs. So it's a strong seller's market right now. I would anticipate March listings to see something similar, a tick up in activity, an increase in year over year sales prices, and as long as the homes are well prepared, you can expect those median days on market to stay relatively low. So far, we have not seen the global issues, specifically the gas prices, the Iran conflict, really slowing down the market yet, but we're only 3 weeks into the conflict, so we'll have to see if that shows up as an impact for year over year data in April's numbers. Last year, our spring market did end a little early. Normally, we ride that through about the middle of May, and it stopped about a month early. So that is definitely a stay tuned. We'll have to see. Perhaps because some of the inventory held back due to the weather, they're now priming for, April launch. We might see good activity, but that is my quick market rundown for Northern Virginia. If you want to know more about your neighborhood, how it's behaving, and what you can expect for your home specifically, please reach out to us. We would be happy to do that data for you and have a conversation about how you get in that 6 and 7 days on market, 20–30% over list as opposed to the accumulating inventory category. Hope that was helpful. Thanks for tuning in. Talk to you soon.